Hello and welcome to the program Issues on ABS Radio and Television. I am Eze Oji. All over the world, ecosystems are threatened from forests and drylands to farmlands and lakes. Natural spaces on which humanity's existence depends are reaching a tipping point. According to the United Nations Convention on Desertification, up to 40% of the planet's land is degraded, directly affecting half of the world's population. Yes, on Issues program today, we shall discuss what environmental degradation is and of course what causes environmental degradation and how to curb environmental degradation. And of course, Anambra State's revolution in the environment sector. And we have in the studio a special guest, Engineer Dr. Felix Odimewu, Mr. Commissioner for Environment, Anambra State. And your all right, so you get ready to contribute your quota to how to curb environmental degradation. Kedu ka ga-esi dozie gburugburu anyị ka ọ dị mma ebe obibi dịka enyere gọvanọ anyị aka ime ka ebe a bụrụ ebe a ga-ebi wee nwee ezi ndụ. We begin from environment. Mr. Commissioner, how do we define environment? What is environment?
Yeah, thank you. First and foremost, I just want to use this opportunity to wish our able governor a happy resounding birthday. Today is the birthday of Mr. Governor.
Indeed.
Mr. Governor has been doing so well for Anambra State. There's a lot of transformation going on in the state. Anambra has become a construction site, and every sector has been impacted. And for that reason, today being the day that we commemorate his birth, we join the web teaming in Anambra and even the angels to pray for him and to wish him a resounding happy birthday, sir.
Indeed. Happy birthday to you, Mr. Governor.
The environment is actually everything that is around us. The sum total of the space in which we live, the plants, the animals, both the non-living and the living things. It consists of the ecosystem. And that's what the environment is. Everything that surrounds us constitutes the environment.
Environment. Of course, you've answered what constitutes environment and what environment is. But let's look at degradation. What are those things, attitudes of human beings that degrade the environment?
Yes. In a natural state, the ecosystem has to have a balance. And it is this balance that would ensure that the living things will thrive. But when that ecosystem is out of balance, we refer to that as having an environmental degradation. And most of these things that devastate the environment are mainly caused by human activities. So whenever a state of the environment has depreciated, has left its conducive atmosphere that would ensure that the living organisms that are there will survive, that's when we easily say that the environment has degraded. It could be degradation in terms of the air, having pollution in the air. It could be the land degradation, whereby you find out that the lands that are available for agriculture are no longer there, are threatened. Lands available for infrastructural development are threatened. And it could be drought. where you find out that even the water bodies tend to dry up, and you end up not really having enough amount of rainfall. It could actually be desertification, where the forest reserves are depleted and replaced such that deserts encroachment will occur. So these are some of the regulations that you could find within the area where we live. And most of these regulations could be traceable or caused by human activities. Whenever you decide to deforest, or have a bush burning, you understand, this will contribute towards deforestation, which will also cause desertification, and which would devastate the environment. Okay. If you have situations where indiscriminate and illegal mining activities are going on, such that the ecosystem within the area becomes affected, such activities could lead to erosion, which will devastate the environment in that area. Then if you have indiscriminate dumping of refuse, such that you have waste litters every here and there,
blocking the drainages.
Sometimes also blocking the drainages, which could also lead to inland flooding, or devastate the environment. So many of those things increase the greenhouse gases that affect the atmosphere, bring about climate change. The resultant effect of that is environmental degradation.
Gradually, we shall touch all these things as we answer one question. A question may answer about two other questions. Let's take a break, and we take a message from our sponsor. The program is Issues on ABS Radio and, of course, television. We shall return quickly. Stay tuned. Issues on ABS Radio Television program, and today we are discussing how to curb environmental degradation, and we have in the studio Engineer Dr. Felix Odimegwu, Mr. Commissioner for Environment, Anambra State, Anyora Ezinifite. Mr. Commissioner, let's discuss the significance of tree planting. I think it helps a lot to recover the lost ground, the lost environment, and of course take erosion.
Yes, thank you. One thing that we've come to establish is that Anambra environment is an existential threat, and we have over 1,000 active erosion sites in the state. Almost, I think, the highest number of sites in Nigeria is devastated, and these erosion sites are affecting over 160 communities out of the 179 communities that we have in the state. There are some communities that have one-on-one erosion problem, devastating their community. Now, and these are humongous devastations that if we bring all the entire budget of Anambra State to and focus them just on solving these erosion gullies, we may not be able to even scratch the surface. And that brings us to thinking towards how we can mitigate the ones that have occurred, and try to adapt so that we can sustainably prevent some of these man-made causes of these devastations. So in that end, Governor launched the Clean, Green and Sustainable Anambra Agenda for the Environment. And then on that also he launched the 1 million tree planting a year agenda. The idea is that we believe that with tree planting, what we might call bioremediation, it will go a long way to helping to salvage these lands and also prevent erosion from erupting in some areas. So we're looking at having preventive actions. And one major way of doing this is vigorous tree planting campaign. Every year, the state makes sure they plant at least 1 million trees, across the entire state. And we've devised a way of doing this, through also distribution of economic trees. In one way, we're using these trees to curb erosion, so that our soil the trees will help the soil to have a grip, And then on the other way, it's also for poverty alleviation, because when these economic trees start fruiting, people can sustainably be empowered when they make sales of these trees, fruits from these trees. So, and that is what we're doing. Every year, at least 1 million trees are being planted across the state. That will also help to create a situation whereby Anambra State has a green cover. Because when you have 1 million trees a year being planted, before the end of this tenure, you have more than 5 million trees planted within the term of Mr. Governor's first year in office. Apart from these ones, the State Ministry of Environment are also doing what we might call urban forestation. Urban forestation is a way of introducing forestation in the urban areas by having our streets, our roads adorned with green cover, planting on the left and on the right of it, and even in the median, having trees on our roads, to create a green cover for the urban areas. Some time ago, many years ago, I think the WHO, labeled Onitsha as the most polluted city. The reason why that was so was because we had all these industries in Onitsha and all that, and most times we find out that the air within those areas get polluted. And one major reason why this is so is because we don't have trees planted within the area of that commercial city. So, but these things are changing. Okay, since the governor came in, the level of filth in that area has significantly reduced, and it is cleaner now than where we met it about 2.5
especially Oboko.
years ago. Okay, Oboko has been transformed, from that Oboko to
New Heaven.
New Heaven. Okay, so these are deliberate, intentional efforts of Mr. Governor to change the narrative of these cities. If you ask WHO to come back to National and perform that survey, you will find out that you won't bring no city in Anambra State would fall back on having this kind of gardening tax right now. So what we're saying is that the urban forestation will now help to restore freshness of air within that area, because trees, help to filter the air. You understand? So that level of pollution will be reduced massively with the vigorous planting of trees that we're doing right now. Then also, the tree planting will also help to curb erosion, like I mentioned, because it will have a grip on the soil. Now, our soil easily gets washed off. You understand? Because the erosivity index of Anambra soil is high. Erosivity is the ratio of rainfall to runoff over a period of time, even. So most times you see sand in the drainages, you see sand everywhere being moved from one point to the other. It's because of this index, which is high. So, but when you now have trees planted, you understand, the trees help to have a grip on the soil, and this will also help to reduce erosion from occurring.
Indeed, because there is a research that says trees in the urban areas can cool the air by 50 centigrade, reducing air conditioning needs by 25%. Yeah. So let's plant trees.
Yes, that will help to reduce energy consumption. Because when the area is cool, you don't have to put on your AC now, which will now consume a lot of energy, thereby helping you to save money.
Sure.
Electricity bill and all that, So there's a lot of advantages of from tree planting. According to the Buffett government, you can never go wrong with tree planting. It is a venture that every Anambra citizen is advised to be part of.
Link here to the plastic challenge.
Yes. FND and classification about e-waste, and also part of industrial waste. Yes, we have programs for that. Okay, right now, we launched a program called All Anambra State Plastic Recovery Challenge. The idea is to create one large army. Involving the people. Going over and Solumalo, the essence of being part of waste management through recycling chain. And also, give them the opportunity of having their waste being converted into value, into money. But when you solo pick a plastic that this challenge and even after the challenge continue to pick here. If I put out that now, instead of it not to plastic here, or then you will na designated recycling hubs. Ebe a ga-agbanwe with any ego. Ego ha go ebe so efuzie most of the recyclable materials. Instead of it to fuzi atufu. More or constitute nuisance here and there. Iji connect here, where we dear boy be with dear, India convert here and ego. Always so many of these items, and I recycle. So right from the point of generation of this waste, from Nuno, I don't know where segregate today. Cable plastic, a dead cable aluminum, a dead see because na fancy na wukanye and general waste, because even from your house you can also get money from there by taking these items to also help the recycling industries anyway, because these industries they use it as their own raw materials. And all na anachikwanatia go are able to nuisance. Now, they are use here directly. You find out that one problem when manage large amounts of waste within the urban and most other areas will reduce, because some of the components of this waste have to go from there. If anything a waste, if I a just transition to situation whereby we now have zero waste. such that na waste material I'm not posing no waste, not the resource for other products. Okay, and then for these ones that are very toxic, you have to go. I am not transit. I do this sorted now. You have to TBA na bag I designate. So when cable for plastic, when I develop for toxic materials, just like what some of the hospital waste I went. They manage and teach and that is the reason why very qualified professionals can handle some of this waste. Already, I have planned to go in with training. We'll keep on doing that, so to train our officials who will be able to be managing this hazardous waste, especially the environmental health officers. But I can handle waste. I handle waste, especially these ones that have to be treated before they are exposed. So I think we have plans for that seriously. You have to go. But I'm going to buy government here. Everything littered with waste. About full heaps and heaps of refuse. So if I buy a nearby, you take your time, you make sure that those kind of heaps are drowsy. Now, fresh waste, never the look take another book. Once there is sustainable ways of doing that. Even in some places, I involve go and the landlord, man the community leaders, man the estate landlords. You know, Kafasonia, where man that na if you didn't find no source if government get made loan. You know, everybody should be able to be part of the environment and take ownership. So if you need why we transit to Ebai Choeje? I look at Ebai in Nigeria as a state in terms of the achieving the cleanest state in Nigeria. Now I will go the journey, and we have moved a lot of steps. Anambra is cleaner today than it was before Soludo took over, and then we are ensuring that I can make sure I achieve Anambra, achieve this, making Anambra the cleanest and the greenest state in Nigeria. So I think we have plans for that, and that plan is ongoing.
Anora, isn't it? Kedu wani no nka neighbor. What has changed in the environment sector since Governor Soludo took charge of governance? Kedu mbanwo
and I have from the protocol, I are working a lot of transformations now the state. Nukumbanwe at the car. Imogo nke kachasị nke bụ na ụzọ a na-arụzi kịta. Yes, anyị na-arụ ụzọ nne na Anambra because na anyị chọpụtara na enwere emergency ihe gbasara roads na Anambra. But anyị na-arụzi ụzọ anụnwa sustainably. Yota. One major reason why enwe erosion in most places is the poor termination of drainages. And our rules of road construction, what terminated of man. About how the erosion will be there back. But I can't get the design. The design, the good season now, our rules of gutter drainage system and it is in here. With the source that none terminate here where a book was laid by I don't know what that shed no non-milli. Unlike before. That is one measure. You gave environmental sustainability. And now I am here with full intention and determination that na a pure is ready. Then of course in the provision government go, I can say a white paper that no other zone kita the whole compound, pave the whole compound. You get work with that 35%. You have to go every get to a green area. You have to ATM or the law. You have to go that 35% to go be a Croatia, a flower, you can make green area or open space. You roll no so now only 65% of that land. You have to go ATM or law. and I don't enforce. If I never found that now, new layouts now protect new SS now protect, a bit of the making sure that it is being enforced. For that now, after now, everywhere are they well built up and well planned. Okay? Now, how clean Anambra the Keta, unlike before, Kaibata, I fear everywhere. About when they put on a street corner, full heaps of refuse. About when they put on, like by the Governor Jalo Oboko. The next day after his inauguration, we went to Oboko and it was so filthy. It was like a slum, you know. Then the Sikweba Bata Onitsha, no Chanja roundabout, Okoshana roundabout, don't refuse, we make a speech. We go that the next time I got there, but no man is it. And ije Ochanja kata ife dị iche dị there. In fact, Ochanja bu heaps no bu there before. Ije over also water fountain. Ife dị ebe afọ. Ije Oboko now, if you na ata close to about 15 solid roads no Oboko. Now, you have to go everywhere chap. You put up na Ọka. Ndị Ọka na-agba osighari. Onye kpọrọ anyị na phone nkịta na-agwa maka etu o si eje ka Ọka. For half free ebe ahụ. Ndị agboro apụsịgola anyị n'ụzọ. Because of if automatic soludo together, they are anti-touting. You go. Then street trading. They push over your and the same thing. They find those of the freeway. Now, guys, enough. Now everywhere there's a well organized. And then I have been open. Equation na streets. In the next 1, 2, 3 years, if you have beautiful, this environment has been done because of the transformation agenda of Mr. Governor. So if you did na state ya gosi mgbanwe gosi na onye ma ife onye ma ọchịchị onye ma lead onye ga transform Anambra State bunye anọ na saddle na drive na pilot to the scheme of affairs and it is working well. Anambra is feeling it.
Mr. Commissioner, I ga n'obere oge 1 minute ndụmọdụ gị maka anya ma kwuchi ihe niile taa.
Ndị Anambra ekenekwa mmanụ ọzọ. Na-ekenekwa gọvanọ anyị bụ Prọfesọ Charles Chukwumasoludo CFR. Onye nke na-echeta ụbọchị amụrụ ya ụbọchị nke taata. Anyị na-ekpere na-asị na ọ ga-adịrị ya mma, ndị ezinụlọ ya mma.
Amen.
Ndị be anyị, okwu anyị na-ekwu maka ya bụ okwu gbasara gburugburu, okwu gbasara environment. From idebe ebe anyị bi ọcha to ime ife ga-enye aka wee dozie obodo anyị. Anyị akọwasịgo so many things. Anyị ama njezi na-ekwu nwaanyị n'okwu ife anyị nọzi na ya bụ implementation nke gbasara everybody. In actual fact, ọ bụrụ na each one individual mee ife ọ kwesịrị ime within the area ebe obi, within the community, within the layout, a ga-enwekwa n'ife dị iche. Ife anyị na-akọwa bụ na onye ọbụla ga-amata na ọ bụrụ ife a na-ahapụrụ gọọmenti alone to do. Nke anyị kwupụtara ị ga-eso wee mee, inyela aka wee mee ya. Ọ naghị adị mma mmadụ ịbịasị within himself na-aghọ onwe ya ahụ na ya esi na mmiri na-ezo nwa m ngwa buru ihe ya ewuye n'ime gọta. Ya eburu ife ya ewuye n'ime gọta ka mmiri buru ya pụọ. Mmiri ya buru ya pụọ bege ahụ jebe ebe ka o jee ebe onye ọzọ nọchie ebe afọ. Ọ nọchie ebe a ọ bụzie na onwe ebe ụwa mmiri si aga. Akọ flooding na-ebido. Flooding na-ebido ogbugbe ndị mmadụ baba ndị mmadụ mebisibe ife and then also cause erosion. So ife anyị na-akọwa bụ na nke afọ dị mma ịkwesịrị ime nke anyị na-akọwasị ebe a na biko nyere anyị aka ọ bụghị na ọ na moto eto anụnwa enwechaa mmiri ma efe ịtụpụ ya na main road ịtụpụzi onye ka ị na-atụpụrụ ya ọ dị ndị ka ị na-ahapụrụ ya ebe afọ biko nyere aka tinye ya na waste bin. Every household kwesịrị inwe waste bin. Etu ọ mmadụ onye ọbụla bi n'ụlọ si ego pot na spoon na ife o ji ebi n'ụlọ sikwa etu a wee gote waste bin ije n'afọ igwe ọ bụrụ iwu bụ n'ihe ego nke gọọmenti gotere you can buy ihe anyị ma bụ nwee waste bin ebe ị na-edebe afịa ịghọtago. So ọ dị very important then ebe niile anyị na-ekwu okwu ya maka erosion niile bi ebe afọ kwesịrị ịma even everywhere now abụghị ha na-akpọ catchment pit ka mmiri na-ezera n'ala anyị etinye gị na law anyị ga-ebidokwa na enforcement ya anyị na-ekwu ya na-enye carrot biko nume mana ndị House of Assembly na-enye gị anyị ikike to now enforce it so ọ bụrụ na anyị bido enforce ịsịkwana na ya gwọrọ gị n'oge mgbe anyị na-ekwu okwu onye ọbụla repenti ebie especially ebe gọvanọ nọgụsigoro iro na penti ndị ebe fa dị ọzọ mma inwere ụlọ dị na public area ebe anya na-afụ ọ gị nwere property anyị na-asị gị biko tetụnụ ya obere penti ka o wee dị n'ime n'anya ibiri na dilapidated building ka mmiri ebe afọ akwa building dara na ifite ụbọchị a because of lack of care.
Mr. Commissioner, I Ghana. Now, here you go quickly. Dutekwa bia any update ka yes but I connect engineer Dr. Felix Odimegwu, Mr. Commissioner for Environment and Anambra State. Annual Rising. Thank you for coming. I connect. Thank you. Once again, we say happy birthday to His Excellency Mr. Governor Professor Chukuma Soludo. Many years and more blessings. On behalf of everybody in the house here, and of course my producer Don Onyenji, I am Eze Almoji. See you again. Bye for now.